Konnichiwa.
Why are you speaking in Japanese?
Because the Japanese are known for their love of insects, and actually they revered the insect that we're talking about in this episode, the dragonfly.
So you know a lot of Japanese?
Nai. Dragonflies and damselflies are in the order Odonata. Odonto means toothed in Greek. This refers to the incredibly strong mandibles these insects have.
Odonates all share some common characteristics, mainly long bodies with two pairs of long wings that have lots of veins. The wings don't fold over the back, they stay flat.
So how do you tell dragonflies and damselflies apart? Well, both have tiny hair-like antennae, but dragonflies have a basketball-shaped head, and their eyes almost completely cover the surface. These are compound eyes made up of over 20,000 tiny lenses called ommatidia. This allows dragonflies to see 360 degrees without moving their heads. Damselfly heads are more flattened, and their eyes are separated.
Generally, dragonflies have thicker bodies than damselflies. Scientists refer to that as junk in the trunk. Dragonflies hold their wings out flat while resting, while damselflies hold their wings over their backs. The aquatic immatures have a really cool mouth part. Their lower lip, or labium, is hinged. It snaps out to grab prey. Large dragonfly larvae can actually take out a minnow or two.
There are about 6,500 species of damselflies and dragonflies found all over the world wherever there's fresh water. The Texas A&M Digital Dragonfly Project is really awesome. They use a flatbed scanner to record the complexity of color and morphology of dragonflies and damselflies. The largest dragonfly ever recorded was from the Carboniferous era, and it was over 2 feet in wingspan. The biggest odonates nowadays have about a 6-inch wingspan.
Dragonflies hold the record for the longest insect migration. Some fly from northern India across the ocean, stop in the Maldives before heading to East and Southern Africa at a round-trip distance of over 14,000 kilometers in a year.
Odonates are predators. They catch flying insects in the air and eat them on the go. They basically invented the drive-through. Their lives revolve around freshwater ecosystems, and some species fiercely defend territories in order to find mates. They are incredible flyers, having the ability to perform aerial acrobatics. They are one of only 2 animals that can fly backwards, the other being the hummingbird. And they inspired helicopter design.
Odonates go through simple, incomplete metamorphosis. The eggs hatch into aquatic naiads that slightly resemble the adults but have a totally different biology. These larvae live in the water until their last molt, which can take up to 2 years in some species. Then, they crawl to the surface of the water and molt into their adult form.
Dragonflies and damselflies have developed lots of different mating behaviors over hundreds of millions of years, but the common theme is that they're all pretty aggressive. Males are really rough on the females, and they've got all of these tactics to make sure that their genes are the ones that are passed on.
And we're going to show you some of those tactics that these animals can use.
Male dragonflies have their testes at the end of the abdomen and their penis at the base. So before any mating can happen, males have to move sperm up to the genital pouch that holds the penis. Sometimes the males will prowl near a body of water and wait for the females to emerge. Then, before she's even had the chance to dry her wings, the male will swoop in and grab her behind the neck.
Hey!
Some species have a scoop at the end of the abdomen to remove the sperm of previous male partners. This ensures that his genes will be passed on. After they mate, the male will continue to hold on to the female as they fly to find a suitable place to deposit her eggs. As she lays them in the water, the male guards her vigorously.
Dragonflies eat mosquitoes. They're flying pest control. They're also a very important part of freshwater food chains. They're food for other invertebrates, frogs, salamanders, and fish.
It's hard to catch a dragonfly when they're flying. They have incredible eyesight and they're faster than you are. Try going out on a cool spring morning and catching them on reeds before they've had the chance to warm up. Use a net and gently grab their wings. Careful, they can nip.
Now we're getting into insects that have a lot of mythology and culture surrounding them. In olden times, which is a scientific term, by the way, people used to see little gilded, magical winged beings flying through the forest, and they called them fairies. Historians now think that those people were talking about damselflies. And Native Americans used to forecast the changing of seasons by what color dragonfly was flying around at the time.
And now to Japan. It's been said that Jimmu Tenno, the first emperor of Japan, climbed to the top of a mountain to survey the land. He determined that the islands of Japan looked like two dragonflies mating. In those days, the word for dragonfly was akitsu, so the original name for Japan was Akitsushima, the Dragonfly Isles.
Another emperor, centuries later, was bitten by a horsefly. A dragonfly swooped in and grabbed it off his arm. He was pretty impressed by this. These insects came to be known as symbols of honor, valor, and bravery in Japan, and they adorned helmets, katana swords, and gear worn by samurais and soldiers as they battled.
All this talk about Japan and dragonflies makes me want a cup of tea. Here you go.
Arigato.
Saro wa kanashiboshi atakuyo. Does that mean you're welcome?
I think so.